Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, online news portals are all set to be under government regulation as OTT platforms have been brought under the purview of the INB ministry. Let's do a three-point analysis to find out what this really means for such platforms. 1. What's the rationale behind this move? Well, in an executive order, the government has now amended the allocation of business rules and thus have also said that films and audiovisual programs made available by the online content providers, also the news and current affairs content on online platforms will all be brought under the INB ministry. Now, this is the first time the ministry is actually getting into this digital space. Until now, there was no law or autonomous body really governing this digital content space. Last month, the Supreme Court had sought the centre's response on a petition for regulating these OTT platforms by an autonomous body. Now, earlier this year, the ministry had rejected the self-regulation model proposed by the 15 top OTT players in India that had internal representatives and an external domain expert to address all the complaints that are addressed to them. Now, the government has described this move as providing a level playing field and creating an enabling regulatory environment, therefore. 2. What does this really mean for OTT players as Netflix, Amazon Prime Video and even the news portals? Well, the first challenge before the OTT platforms would be keeping a check on their content. The move will mean that these platforms will have to apply for approval of content that they wish to stream. Now, this will really prevent objectionable content on the audio and video streaming platforms. It also raises the specter of censorship. Now, in the case of digital news, this means that companies in this space will be treated as par or at par to print and electronic media companies. Experts say that this move indicates a shift in stance and government's intent on the OTT platforms. Now, the Union Electronics and IT Ministry, or METI, under which the OTT platforms were falling under, had earlier clarified that there was no need for regulation under the Cinematograph Act or for prior licensing of content. Now, the INB ministry, however, may take a different route to regulation, and it could be a precursor to a legislative route as well. 3. What's the industry reaction on this new notification? Well, Amazon Prime, Netflix and the Internet and Mobile Association of India have not really commented so far on the latest Gazette notification. However, the industry experts feel that the move will curb the freedom of expression. Some experts have also said that OTT platforms are likely to resist any plans to censor the content being provided and streamed as well by them, as these platforms have often chosen to produce, say, movies or documentaries which are more or less on the politically sensitive issues, but also relevant topics. Now, the big concern they have is that the notification should not really lead to content being reviewed and also certified, as censorship narrows the creative freedom as well as the expanse of subjects and stories that really can be narrated on these kind of platforms. Now, it will now have to be seen as to what kind of further guidelines and clarifications, if any, does the INB ministry really comes out on this notification.